My name's Erinna. I'm 32 years old. No, sorry, I'm 31. I have Craniofacial syndrome. Well, the first treatment I had was when I was 6 years old. So in that time, anywhere from 20, 25 procedures. I've really lost count, actually. Probably since I was about 10, I think. Because before that it was Jim Trott, and then Professor David took over from there, and then he's been doing it ever since. Yeah. As far as I know, it runs in my family, but I can't trace it back as far as my mum. She carries a gene, and then I ended up with it physically first, and then it passed down to my two younger brothers. As far as we know, it's a mutated gene that's sort of can skip generations. As far as where it came from, we don't know. We've never really been able to pinpoint exactly where it came from and how we ended up with it. Physically, it's just a physical abnormality. It doesn't affect me in any other way except my appearance. The only other issue I've had is that I have a small jaw, so I've had to have extensive surgery to sort of be able to breathe properly, and I had a surgery to actually have that brought forward because I did have trouble breathing at night time, so I was in danger of suffocating in my sleep. I did wear a CPAP machine for a while, but that wasn't very effective, hence why I needed the surgery. I've had a lot of major surgeries, mostly to do with the eyes and the cheekbones, the jaw being pulled forward. A lot of dental work because of overcrowding, small jaw, so they've had to sort of minimise that to be able to eat properly. Those are the implications physically. The very first one, I'll never forget. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I'd had a lot of appointments leading up to it, but I just remember going to the CT scan room and seeing a whole row of syringes and needles and completely freaked out. As a 6-year-old, you would expect that. It took about three nurses and my mum to sort of hold me down and put the gas mask on and put me to sleep. But that was such a traumatic experience that I never actually forgot that. And afterwards, the swelling and the bruising, waking up and you can't actually see because your eyes are just so swollen, having a bandage over your head, tubes coming everywhere, directions. It was quite a traumatic surgery, being the very first. And then the second one that I'll never forget was when I was 16 and I had my jaw pulled forward. That was extremely major, very, very life-threatening. It almost ended my life actually in ICU. I had a problem with blood clots, and I stopped breathing. It actually stopped me from breathing for felt like forever, but it wasn't. I've read. They managed to get the clot out while I'm here. But that was extremely scary. I'll never forget that one either. Those are two major ones. The rest of them are just here, there, just ongoing sort of surgeries. But I did have a fear for quite a while that I'd actually never wake up. I think that's probably because of the very first one being so traumatic. I thought if I go to sleep then I'm not going to wake up. So I did develop a fear for quite a while. It wasn't until I actually got a bit older that I managed to overcome that and just realise that it was a natural process that I had to go through to sort of make my life a little bit better, more bearable, and be seen as normal by everybody else.
Yeah.
Not so much. I never actually got bullied. I never got picked on. I think I made my personality sort of be the focus rather than what they saw on the outside. But yeah, when I was at school, because half the time I wasn't, because I was always having surgeries every year and appointments and follow-ups, so I missed a lot of school. But when I was at school, it wasn't too bad. I made friends, I pushed on, I persevered. I never let it stop me, personally. If someone didn't like me or they took a particular dislike, I just sort of moved on. Okay, you don't like it, so on to the next person. You can't please everybody, but I would hope that having a strong personality, a strong character, and a personal belief that I'm not going to let it hold me back, that I'll just keep going, and they'll respect me for it, Apart from surgeries to fix facial abnormalities, I have hearing loss, so I am moderately deaf. I wear hearing aids, but that's never really been a big issue. Apart from hearing, I have no other health issues. Nothing that's really stopped me, nothing that's really got in the way. No. I'm a carer. I work in a nursing home. Actually doing my Bachelor of Nursing at the moment to sort of go further in my career. I'm hoping to sort of help other people, either with the same sort of problems, children, adults, to sort of make them feel a bit more comfortable with who they are as a person, and sort of realise that you can't let what you're born with stop you, that you have just as much value and right to be here. I definitely believe that we are all unique and special, and that we all have a purpose, and we're not here for nothing.
What was
a little scary at first. Yeah, he's an incredible man. I have absolute profound respect for him. Once you get over the initial feeling that, oh, he's such a, big man, such a presence about him, he sort of became a father figure, really, because he's always been there. He's always taken care of you. always treated you like an individual, treated you like you're intelligent and important. I still feel, you know, in awe of him at times when I see him. He's a very, very special individual. Yeah. The work they do. I think if it hadn't been for them, I wouldn't be here today. They do immense work that incredibly important for other children born with physical issues. I would hope that I could support them as much as I could to bring awareness to other people. I think it's vitally important that their work gets spread, that it continues, and that more support is given to them to keep going. I didn't actually have much to do with the foundation itself, not until recently, the last few years. I spent a lot of time in the Craniofacial unit where they dealt with me as a patient through to hospital, because they have their social workers and their organisers, you know, to do appointments and things. When I was 18, I started having surgeries privately through David, and that's where I actually became more aware of the foundation and the role that they actually play. And I started to get involved with their yearly balls. The first one was a couple of years ago, and I absolutely enjoyed that. I thought it was amazing. The stories that you hear, the people that support it, the financial support. I thought I wanted to help and be involved. And then last year I actually organised a whole table of people to come and support. That was really good. Yeah. Yes, my mum wrote a children's book. Because she's had 3 of us with the syndrome, she's got a lot of experience. She wanted to write a book for children to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel good about who they are. She donated the books to the Cranio Foundation, sort of bring awareness and give them to children so that they could read it.
What's the book about?
It's about a kangaroo who has a bent ear and slightly crooked face, and he's been cast out of his kangaroo clan, so he's not accepted anymore, so he's become a loner, and so he's made friends with a wise old owl and a magpie, and the story sort of goes that he gets in trouble with a crocodile, and the crocodile wants to eat him. The magpie picks on him, makes fun. The wise old owl, you know, sticks up for him and says, "No, he's good. He's a good sort of thing." So, as the story goes, he saves one of the animals' lives and becomes a hero of the story.